Manifest wealth. These two words hold more power than the world dares to believe. They're not merely a call to attract money, they are a summons to awaken the hidden architect within your soul, the infinite intelligence that creates worlds, galaxies, and yes, the life you long to live. Tonight, as you hear these words, you will remember what your spirit has always known. You were not born to struggle under the weight of lack. You were born to manifest wealth, to walk through life as a radiant expression of divine abundance, a living instrument through which the infinite plays its eternal song of creation. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you release from within. Like a spring hidden under the surface of the earth, it waits for the warmth of your faith to rise, to burst forth as golden rivers through the soil of your mind. And before this journey ends, you will see exactly how to open that hidden spring, how to make the invisible supply within you take form in your world, and how to never lose it again. So stay with me until the final words of this narration, because by the end, you will not simply believe you can manifest wealth, you will know it as the law of your being, the forgotten law. Dr. Joseph Murphy once wrote, "There is no virtue in poverty. It is a disease of the mind." He did not say this to shame the poor, but to awaken the powerful, to remind humanity that lack is never divine. Every atom of this universe pulses with surplus. Every leaf on every tree gives without exhaustion, and every soul, including yours, was designed to live in the same rhythm of effortless giving and receiving. To manifest wealth, then, is not selfish. It is obedience to the very nature of life itself. Look around. The stars do not hoard their light. The ocean does not apologize for its endlessness. The rose does not feel guilt for blooming. And yet man, made in the image of infinite supply, hides his greatness behind false humility, repeating to himself that he must be realistic. Realistic? There is nothing realistic about denying the laws that sustain the cosmos. Murphy called money a symbol, a mirror reflecting your inner relationship with abundance. If you see it as filthy, it will flee. If you bless it as divine energy, it will multiply. You cannot hold contempt in one hand and prosperity in the other. Every time you resent someone's success, you quietly close the door on your own. Every time you bless another's abundance, you open the floodgates for yours. So tonight, as you listen, do something simple but sacred. Forgive money. Release it from every judgment, every superstition, every fear you inherited from a world that glorifies lack. Money is not your master, it is your mirror. When your reflection becomes clear, your abundance becomes near. The light within the mind. There is a law that governs the invisible realm, a law as exact as gravity, as constant as light. It is the law of belief. What you believe in the quiet corridors of your mind is what will inevitably shape the corridors of your life. If, deep down, you believe you are unworthy of wealth, the universe will obey, not because it punishes you, but because it mirrors you perfectly. Your outer world is not a dictator. It is a reflection. It has no choice but to show you what you believe. When you transform your inner conviction, your reality must bow to it. Murphy's secret was simple. Your subconscious mind accepts what you feel as true. If you say, "I am wealthy," but feel poor, you create resistance. But if you say, "Every day I am prospering, every day my life expands with new opportunities," your subconscious nods in agreement and begins to build that reality in silence. Because the subconscious never sleeps. It works while you doubt. It moves while you rest. And it manifests while you believe. So, here and now, let this be your first declaration. Say it aloud or whisper it in your heart. Money is forever circulating freely in my life. There is always a divine surplus. Feel it. Don't rush it. Don't say it to test it. Say it to become it. If this truth stirs something inside you, if it lights even a small spark of remembrance, write it in the comments below. I am ready to manifest wealth. Because every time you declare it, you strengthen the signal your soul sends to the infinite. And the universe, like a faithful echo, will return the song. The cosmic urge, Murphy called your desire for wealth, a cosmic urge, the same creative impulse that turns a seed into a tree and a thought into a destiny. You are not greedy for wanting more. You are growing toward it. Your longing is life itself, whispering, expand. To manifest wealth is to say yes to that whisper. It is to allow the divine to express through you, not as another person's dream, but as your unique symphony of success, peace, and freedom. Think of the boy Joseph Murphy once described. He dreamed of becoming a doctor, but had no money, no education, and no opportunity. Every night before sleep, he imagined his diploma on the wall, his name engraved in gold letters. He lived in that image, touched it in his mind, felt the joy of it in his soul, until one day life conspired to make it true. He became the doctor he once dared to imagine. That is not luck, that is law. He will always move toward the image that lives most vividly in your heart. So I ask you, what image rules your heart tonight? Is it the picture of lack or the vision of abundance? Because whichever one you feed, that one will rise. The invitation to rebirth. From this moment forward, treat every thought as a seed. Each one planted in the soil of your mind will grow, whether you intend it or not. So choose wisely. Plant thoughts of wealth, gratitude, and divine order. Refuse to let weeds of fear or doubt take root. And remember this eternal truth from Dr. Murphy. You lose what you condemn. You bless what you love. If you bless money, it will bless you back 1,000-fold. If you bless the prosperity of others, it will echo back into your own life in ways beyond measure. And if you bless your own worth, truly and wholly, then wealth will become not a chase, but a natural consequence of who you are. But there is one more secret, a truth that turns the theory of wealth into living proof. It is the moment when thought becomes feeling, and feeling becomes form. In the next chapter of this journey, you'll discover how to impress your subconscious mind so deeply that wealth can no longer resist you. You won't just think rich, you will become the vibration of abundance itself. You do not manifest wealth by chasing it. You manifest wealth by becoming it. Every coin, every opportunity, every form of prosperity is drawn to you through the invisible magnet of your subconscious mind. The question is not whether the law works. The question is, what image have you impressed upon it? Dr. Joseph Murphy taught that your subconscious mind accepts only one master, feeling. Not words, not wishes, not desperate repetition, but the deep emotional conviction that something is already yours. This is the alchemy of the soul. When thought and feeling unite, the invisible becomes visible. When belief and emotion marry, gold appears where there once was dust. The furnace of creation. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this scene. A blacksmith stands before a roaring fire. He takes an unshaped bar of iron, dull, lifeless, and places it in the flames. Under the heat, the metal glows red, then gold, then white with power. With every strike of the hammer, it begins to take form. A key, a door handle, a sword. This is what you do each time you meditate on your vision with feeling. You place your thought, your idea into the fire of emotion, and there your subconscious forges it into form. Every time you imagine wealth with gratitude, the metal of your mind softens a little more. Every time you feel abundance as already real, the shape grows clearer, until one day what once lived only in your imagination becomes the reality you wake up to. The subconscious does not ask how, it asks only what. And what you give it through emotion, it must create. That is why Murphy said, you must feel the joy of the answered prayer. When you feel it, you are no longer asking, you are receiving. The science of receiving. Imagine saying, I am wealthy, while your heart trembles with doubt. You may speak the words, but the echo is hollow. Your subconscious hears the doubt louder than the declaration. But when you say, every day my wealth multiplies, I am guided to new doors of prosperity, and you feel it as truth, your heart opens, your pulse changes, your breath deepens. Then your subconscious bows to the command, because feeling is the language of creation. You cannot think your way into abundance, you must feel your way into it. So tonight try this. As you fall asleep, enter that soft borderland between waking and dreaming. Relax your mind. Imagine holding a check written to you for the exact amount you desire. Feel the paper between your fingers. Hear yourself say, thank you, God, for this divine surplus. Fall asleep in that feeling. Let it sink into the deep waters of your mind. And in those silent depths, the process begins. People, events, and circumstances will begin to rearrange themselves, not by chance, but by law. The moment of transmutation. Murphy told the story of a woman who lost everything, her business, her savings, her home. Every night she wept, repeating to herself, I have no money, no hope, no future. Until one evening, exhausted from despair, she heard an inner voice whisper, change water into wine. She realized that water meant her state of mind, cold, clear, but uncharged. And wine meant the joy of her fulfilled desire. So she began to imagine her bank manager shaking her hand, congratulating her on her success. She imagined her mother saying, I'm so proud of you. She fell asleep each night in the vibration of that joy. Weeks later, she received a job offer, a partnership, and an unexpected gift that restored her life completely. She had done nothing magical. She had simply impressed her subconscious with a new pattern, and the pattern became her world. This is not superstition. This is spiritual physics. You are constantly turning water into wine, your thoughts into feelings, your feelings into reality. The question is, are you turning them into fear's wine or faith's wine? If you truly want to transform your inner chemistry from lack to abundance, I invite you to take this deeper, to live these principles for 21 days. Join our 21-day challenge to manifest your dream life. You'll find the link in the description and the pinned comment. Each day you'll receive a guided practice, a short, powerful exercise to reprogram your subconscious with Murphy's timeless techniques. It's not a ritual, it's a rebirth, a conscious reconditioning of your inner state to match the wealth that already belongs to you. And if you're ready to begin right now, type in the comments below, I commit to 21 days of abundance, because your declaration is the first act of creation. When you type those words, you're doing more than commenting. You're signing your name on the blueprint of your new reality. The inner atmosphere. Murphy once said, our minds mingle like atmospheres. What does that mean? It means that your inner vibration, your emotional climate, becomes the weather of your life. If you live in the storm of fear, you will see lightning in every horizon. If you dwell in the sunlight of gratitude, the world will bloom before your eyes. So ask yourself, what atmosphere are you breathing? When you wake up in the morning, do you inhale anxiety or expectancy? Do you walk through your day as a beggar of circumstance or as a vessel of divine wealth? To manifest wealth, you must radiate it. Your energy must whisper abundance even when your pockets are empty. because your feeling is the prophecy of your future. Try this small but sacred ritual. When you open your eyes each morning, say softly, "I walk in the consciousness of God's abundance. His fullness flows through me now." Say it with reverence, not repetition. Say it as though the sun itself has risen within your heart. This one sentence, spoken daily with faith, will begin to dissolve the old patterns of limitation and ignite the magnetic current of prosperity within you. The secret the world forgot. The world believes that wealth belongs to the few, that opportunity is limited, that supply is scarce. But Joseph Murphy knew the deeper truth. Scarcity is not a law, it is a habit. The universe has no shortage of energy, ideas, or money. It only has people who have forgotten how to receive. To manifest wealth is to remember. To remember that abundance is the default state of existence, and that you, yes, you, are an extension of the infinite. Once this realization dawns, you stop asking, "How will I get there?" and begin saying, "How could I ever have forgotten?" The same power that spins the earth, that paints the aurora across the sky, flows through your veins this very moment. It waits only for permission, permission granted through belief. But there is one final mystery left to unveil, the secret of sustaining your abundance. Many manifest wealth for a moment only to see it slip away. Why? Because they never learned the art of conscious circulation, how to keep money, opportunity, and inspiration flowing like an endless tide. In the final chapter of this journey, you will discover how to stay permanently connected to the infinite source, where wealth no longer comes to you, it flows through you. The ocean never runs out of waves, the sky never runs out of stars, and the infinite, the power that breathes through you, never runs out of supply. To manifest wealth permanently, you must learn the rhythm of the universe, the art of circulation. For what you give with love returns multiplied. What you hoard in fear turns to dust. Murphy called this the law of radiance and attraction. The same truth Christ spoke when he said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." When you release with gratitude, you become a channel, not a container, and the universe adores an open channel. Look at your body. The blood flows, the breath flows, the thoughts flow. When circulation stops, life itself withdraws. So too with your finances, your ideas, your love. When you fear loss, you freeze the current. When you trust divine supply, you unleash it. Wealth then is not measured by what you keep, but by what moves through you. The river within. Imagine standing beside a river at dawn. The current glides, endless, effortless, carrying the reflection of the sky. Now imagine you trying to stop it, holding the water in your hands, building walls around it, claiming, "This is mine." What happens? The river stagnates, turns dark, begins to rot. The same happens when you grip too tightly to what you have, when you cling to money, opportunity, or even love out of fear that it might vanish. What you fear to lose, you push away. What you bless and release, you multiply. Murphy said money is God in action. Every time it moves through honest exchange, through generosity, through creative use, it expresses divine energy. You are not meant to be a dam. You are meant to be a channel for that energy to flow through the world. And as it flows through you, it enriches you. So instead of asking, "How do I get more money?" ask, "How can I let more life flow through me?" Because the river cannot bless a clenched fist, only an open hand. The law of inner circulation. Let us go deeper. Circulation is not only financial, it is spiritual. When you give love, you feel loved. When you share joy, you receive it. When you speak abundance into another, the vibration echoes back into your own subconscious. That is why Murphy urged, "Rejoice in another's good fortune, and you multiply your own." Envy is the great dam. Blessing is the great release. Every time you see someone prosper, whisper in your heart, "Thank you, infinite intelligence, for showing me what is possible for me too." When you do this sincerely, you align yourself with the vibration of that same abundance. And soon, that which you bless, whether love, wealth, or success, begins to appear in your life because you no longer separate yourself from it. Heaven's arithmetic. You can never outgive the infinite. The more you release, the more flows back to you. Dr. Murphy often told the story of a man who gave freely even when he had little, and soon discovered that his giving unlocked streams of income from unexpected places, because he understood the arithmetic of heaven. One divided by love multiplies forever. This is not poetic metaphor, it is mental law. When your subconscious accepts the belief that there is always a divine surplus, it adjusts your entire reality to match that assumption. You begin to meet the right people, notice new ideas, receive inspired guidance at the perfect moment. It feels like coincidence, but it is simply divine order unfolding. So whenever you face a bill, a debt, or an uncertainty, refuse to tighten your heart. Say gently, "Thank you, God, for this opportunity to circulate your wealth." You are not losing money, you are moving it, and what moves lives. That one sentence can shift your vibration from fear to faith, from constriction to confidence, and in that moment, you reconnect to the endless flow. Living in the consciousness of wealth. Once you understand that wealth is a state of consciousness, you realize you can never truly lose it. Murphy said, "If all your money vanished tomorrow, but you remained in the consciousness of wealth, it would return to you by divine law." Because the wealth is not in the paper, it is in the pattern. It is in the mental image you hold of yourself as prosperous, worthy, and guided. The truly wealthy man or woman carries their fortune in their faith. Their security is invisible, yet unshakable. They know that the infinite, which made galaxies without number, can easily remake their circumstances at will, and so they walk through life without fear. If a door closes, they bless it. If a loss occurs, they call it a seed, because they understand that behind every apparent subtraction, a divine addition is being prepared. This is what it means to live in the consciousness of wealth. You no longer depend on outer appearances for your sense of supply. You rest in the calm knowing that God is your source, and God never runs dry. Now listen closely, because this is the truth that transforms everything. You are not trying to manifest wealth. You are remembering that you already are wealth, in essence, in spirit, in vibration. The gold you seek outside is only a reflection of the gold that glows within. You are the treasure you have been digging for. When you affirm, "I am divine abundance expressing itself," you are not lying, you are aligning. When you give thanks for supply before it appears, you are not pretending, you are commanding. And when you bless money, bless others, bless yourself, you are not being naive. You are tuning to the frequency of creation itself. From that vibration, lack cannot coexist. Doubt cannot survive. Fear cannot breathe. In that state, everything in your life begins to rise to meet your new expectation, because the universe has no choice but to reflect the self-image you sustain. Your daily practice. Each morning, before the world awakens, speak these words aloud. "Infinite intelligence governs all my affairs. God is my supply, and His riches flow to me freely, copiously, and endlessly. I am forever conscious of my true worth. I give of my talents freely, and I am divinely compensated." Say it slowly. Feel each word vibrate in your chest like a sacred instrument. And then go about your day as if it were already done. When doubts appear, smile at them. They are only ghosts of your former self. When fear whispers, answer it with gratitude. And when you receive even the smallest sign of progress, a kind word, an unexpected call, a new idea, pause and say, "This is the beginning of my abundance made visible." Because gratitude is the key that unlocks continuity. What you appreciate, you keep. What you take for granted, you lose. The eternal exchange. Every breath you take is both a receiving and a giving. Inhale, receive life. Exhale, release life back into the universe. So it is with wealth. Let it come, let it go. Let it return in greater measure. Never clutch, never cling, never fear. Remember always, you are not meant to survive in scarcity. You are designed to create from sufficiency, to live as an agent of divine plenty. As you circulate freely, joyfully, and faithfully, you discover the highest truth of all. It was never about money. It was about mastery, the mastery of your own consciousness. For when your inner world is rich, your outer world must follow. Now close your eyes. Feel this truth sink into your being. I am one with the infinite source. Its wealth flows through me now. Every day, in every way, I manifest wealth, not by effort, but by alignment. Money, love, and opportunity move toward me in perfect order. I am forever in the flow. Breathe it in. Let it echo through every corner of your soul. You are standing in the river of abundance, and this time you will never step out. This is your awakening. The moment you stop asking, "Will it work?" and begin whispering, "It already has." For the truth, as Dr. Murphy revealed, is eternal. You possess everything by right of consciousness. So let this video be your turning point. Let it remind you that you are not at the mercy of fate. You are the author of it. Every thought is a brushstroke, every emotion a color, and the masterpiece is your life. If these words have stirred something sacred within you, if they have reminded you of the power that sleeps beneath your doubts, then share this message of abundance with others. Write in the comments below, "I live in the flow," and declare it to the infinite as your new identity. And if you wish to go even deeper into this journey, to hear new teachings before anyone else, become a channel member today. Together, we will continue unveiling the hidden powers of the mind and awaken the wealth, peace, and purpose that were always yours. Until then, walk in light, speak in faith, and remember, you were never meant to chase abundance. You were meant to be it.